This is Ben Doughty for the hardest game with former European middleweight champion Tyler Denny. Good to see you again, sir.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
So, you know, the last time we spoke was ahead of the Hamzah Sheeraz fight. And I've got to be honest, journalistically, we're not supposed to get too partisan, but I was a bit gutted because I connected with you on the podcast, got interested in your story, and it was a bit of a downer. I mean, talk me through your emotional journey.
I don't think you're as gutted as I was.
That's fair.
This is boxing, isn't it? And I truly believed I was going to win the fight. Do you know what I mean? No excuses. Camp went great. Got caught with a shot, and that was it for me, really. It's harsh slashing in boxing, do you know what I mean? But the better man won the night. Literally, no excuses, and I got to rebuild now. Come back and go again, and you know, I believe I can get back there, back up to them sort of levels.
Have you watched it back once or twice?
Yeah, it took me a while to watch it back, but yeah, I watched it back. Just little stuff, like it's frustrating, really. Certain things, certain shots my coach told me not to throw, and I threw it in the first 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So, it's about moving on and learning from your mistakes, really, and keep progressing.
Is it fair to say that was the bitterest pill so far in your pro career, of any of the losses you've had? There's been a couple.
Yeah, I'd say so. I got to a point where, you know, I was on a good streak. I was feeling great, and I was really confident I was going to win as well. Do you know what I mean? So when you're that confident, you don't envision ever losing. Do you know what I mean? So it is tough to take, but time's a healer. I've healed, and I'm back better than ever.
You've got this next outing on the Easter Sunday show, the undercard of Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron 2. You've got a pretty lively operator in Elvis Horga. We saw him recently against Callum Simpson. Your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, it's a potential banana skin. Do you know what I mean? He's game, isn't he? He's throws some unorthodox shots. But I believe I beat him. Obviously, no one's forced me to take any fights. Just offer me the fight, and I'm all over it.
Segueing somewhat, when you mentioned banana skin, forgive me, but did you see that story about Keyshawn Davis and Darius Berencic? When go on, talk us through it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
they've sent the bananas. I don't know if they sent the watermelon to make it a bit less. Or I'm not so sure, man. But it's a bit of foolishness. And
I want to go.
I can tell you don't want to be drawn on that. You're saying what a nonsense story.
No. If that Top Rank have backed him up as well, isn't they? Saying we got no time for this, but who knows, man? I know the people who have sent that will tell you the reason.
I mean, we live in crazy times in the era of promotion with boxing, like when Sandy Ryan got red paint thrown at her. It strikes me as something like this, when you wonder who was responsible and are they trying to create a story, you know?
Well, it works, doesn't it? But it's a story for the bad reasons, isn't it? And it's not a story that boxing wants to be associated with. Do you know what I mean? But there's some sad people out there who do this sort of stuff, man, and God knows why.
Do you know Ben Whittaker well? Are you kind of friends from the Midlands boxing scene?
Yeah, I've known Ben for years. Yeah.
So what was your take on the first fight? And how do you think the rematch is likely to play out?
I think Ben a step up a level, and I don't think it would be as competitive in the second fight. But you know, fair play to Liam Cameron. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people thought that the first time. But you know, fair play to him. But I do generally think Ben will show his level and be a level above.
February 22nd, your recent adversary Hamzah Sheeraz gets his world title shot against Carlos Adames. You're very interested in that, I would imagine.
Yeah, just interested in boxing full stop, and you know, I still talk to Hamzah. I talked to him before the fight, talk to him after as I get along with him, and I'll be supporting him that night. Hopefully he can get the world title.
Would you say you're more likely to support him and more of a fan in a sense of Hamzah Sheeraz now than you were before you fought him?
Possibly, yeah, because like I said, I've sparred him and stuff before the fight, and you know, we've dropped each other messages. The boxing's just boxing, and you got to fight each other, and I was happy to do so. He was happy to do so. But yeah, I wish him nothing but the best going forward.
When you have a hard fight with someone, like you go 10 or 12 rounds, there is this bond, right? And there's this kind of brotherhood type feeling. But when it ends early, it's a different energy, right?
Possibly, but I think not even such that. But you're around each other a lot on fight week and stuff, especially the way Riyadh do it as well. There's a lot, so you see each other a lot. Like I say, I've messaged him anyway, so I'm close. I say I'm close to him, but we get on anyway. You're on talking terms from beforehand, and like I say, I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he wins that world title.
The glitz and the glamour and the big shows like Riyadh season, you said you'd rather win at a town hall in Edgbaston, for instance, rather than lose a fight on the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah, 100%, man. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you've lost. You know what I mean? You've worked hard. Everyone. It's not just you, is it? Your family make sacrifices for you in order for you to win. So it's a kind of a rough feeling. Like I won't say you've let people down, but you know you want to. But you kind of find out who's, and I've had good people around me. A lot of people say when you lose, when you find out who's around. But I've had a lot of people around me. We win together, lose together.
That's interesting because you were riding the crest of a wave, and you were a bit like the Cinderella Man. Is the way I think I build your appearance on the podcast. Did some of those people drift away? Some of them well-wishers?
Not really, to be honest. If anything, I probably had more. Do you know what I mean? A lot more than I expected as well. And maybe I never got back to some people because at the time you're just like, I never wanted to look at my phone for a few days. Do you know what I mean? But you know, I appreciate all the love that everyone's shown towards me.
That's interesting. Because you ever see that Sergio Martinez quote that used to do the rounds when he said when he lost one of his pivotal? He said there was four missed calls and then one from his mother, or 4 missed calls from his mother and a wrong number.
Yeah, well, I get that, and maybe I'm a bit guilty of reading too much into them sort of things. So I'm thinking, that's what'll happen to me, but that never happened to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not me bragging or anything, but it was nice really because you can't half expect it. So it was nice to know that people still message it, even though that many people have asked me when you're fighting next and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But when I first started off, I was always asking them people if they want to come to sell tickets and stuff. Now people are asking me all the time, when we come, we want to, you know what I mean? When they come support you. So it's a nice feeling, man.
I suspect that might have something to do with you being a nice, likeable fella. Because when someone like Ben Whittaker, who I'm not saying he's not a nice, likeable fella, but because of his style and profile and his brashness, people are obviously going to delight in his downfall or any blips on his road to success. Tyler Denny, different energy. I think I can see why a lot of people were more kind of sympathetic and outreaching to you and saying, "Are you okay, champ? Don't worry, next time."
Yeah, I mean that's what we're able to say. Like I can't be saying that. But
you can't sign off on that because you are what I just said you are.
Yeah, maybe. But, like I say with Ben, I think kind of broke the internet. I think when that happened over the ropes because there's that many people slating him and stuff. But I suppose that's part of the game. And if you're a bit showbiz, people love to hate you as well. Do you know what I mean? So. And maybe a lot of people will be coming just hoping that Ben loses. Do you know what I mean? But they'll still buy a ticket and they'll still watch or something. But it's one of them. I mean, I am who I am. I don't try to be anyone else, and that's just me.
We like you just where you are at the hardest game. And thank you once again, as always, for your time.
Thank you. Cheers. Appreciate it. Top man.